Guys, this Sunday, Submission Underground is back, 6 o'clock Eastern, only on UFC Fight Pass. I got to tell you, we're dealing with some weather right now. I got a storm going on. I'm getting hit with hail, and I'm still taking the time because I got to tell you guys about the main event. All right, you got Mason Fowler on one side, the champion, recognized as the greatest combatant in the world for the unified rules of submission grappling. Okay, but he's taking on the boogeyman. Now, where Richie Martinez can insert himself to a much higher level is when you come through the 10th Planet system. When you come through an Eddie Bravo system, this is what you're learning to do. You're learning to do the unified rules. You are training every single day for an EBI, for a Submission Underground style event and nothing else. And we've seen 10th Planet guys go on, do great at Abu Dhabi. That's not what they're training for. Believe it or not, they're training for these kind of rules. So when I bring this up to you, Richie Martinez has only taken on the best guys, but he's also only continued to get better. He's also only continued to show his conditioning. He was having fun at one point. He realized this is serious business, but he started taking it very serious. He's on a very incredible roll. And I got to tell you one thing about Richie Martinez, and I'll tell you this story today, but I'll tell you it again because it'll never cease to impress me. I was walking. I was in Hawaii. I was doing a Bellator event. I'm with my wife, minding my own business. We just got ice cream. A guy comes up to me. What's the boogeyman? He comes up to me, says, I see your Submission Undergrounds. I want Jake Shields. And I remember when he said it, because nobody wants Jake Shields. Believe me when I tell you that. People will take on Jake, but there's all sorts of stuff you got to do to get him in there. He wants Jake Shields. I went back, I told Jake Shields, I said, man, this guy, Richie Martinez, he just called you out. And Jake wrote me back and said, man, that guy's really good. Jake said, I'll take the match, but that's a tough match. Really? I mean, a tough match in jiu-jitsu for Jake Shields, who George St. Pierre himself said is the single greatest grappler in mixed martial arts. Meant a lot that now Jake's saying something about Boogie. So Boogie's first time, it's a good hard match. I mean, it goes as long and as far and as deep as you can go, but there was also some eye-opening experiences by Richie Martinez. There was also some eye-opening in terms of the conditioning and in terms of some of the nuances that you need to do. So Richie comes back. All he wants to do is come back. He just wants more matches, anybody, more. And he gets better, and he gets better, and he gets better. And now he's got Mason. And Mason is problematic. And one thing that you guys can't see, he is deceptively, talk about Mason, he is deceptively strong. I talked to Vinny after they grappled, and Vinny's as good as anybody to ever done it. Vinny is the last guy on American soil to beat Gordon Ryan, possibly the last guy, period, to beat Gordon Ryan. But I know on American soil. I want to say the Felipe match with Gordon could have come after that. I will share with you this. Vinny told me after the match, he said, the guy was just so strong. And Vinny had about 25, 30 pounds on Mason, size-wise. Vinny looked like the stronger guy. Vinny said, man, it wasn't the case. He would grab me around my neck. I couldn't get my neck back. He would underhook me. He could push me, even with my size. He said, I had to deal with his strength, which I wasn't planning to deal with. So it's a very classic matchup where you have the flexibility of Boogie, you have a strength of Mason, but you have an understanding of the sport by both of these guys. What's better? The black belt that Boogie's got or the gold belt that Mason's got? We're going to find out. Ishii, in his last two matches, took on the baddest two dudes he could possibly take on, Mason Fowler and Craig Jones, right? I mean, how would you like to be dealt that hand? Well, where this starts to get very interesting is the things that Ishii has learned and the determination and the insistence on him coming back because of the things that he learned. He's now going to take on Andy Varela. If you guys follow Submission Underground, you will know exactly who Andy Varela is. Andy Varela has a very good presence on social media. He's very fun to watch. He's very fun to listen to, but his skills are only getting better. And as he went through Sunshine by a finish, as he went through Ben Eggley, surprisingly, by a quick finish, you start to realize this guy is going to be a problem, and the sky is going to be the limit. I will tell you, I haven't told Andy Varela this. So somebody can send this to Varela, and this will be the first that he hears. But this is the match. This is the match, and this is where the pressure comes from. If he gets through Ishii, he is going to go into either Craig Jones or Mason Fowler based on how this match goes. I'm sharing that with you because that is going to change Varela's life as a grappler greatly. That will change his placement on the card. That will change the pay structure that he is going to qualify for. I haven't told Varela this, but Varela knows something's going on. He knows he keeps getting brought out here for a reason. He knows the cards keep moving up and his face keeps getting out there on the posters more and more. He knows something good is happening in his career, but this is the match. It's an Olympic champion standing across from him, who is very tough to break out of his shell, who is nearly impossible to take down. You can ask Mason Fowler. You can ask Craig Jones. It's going to be a problem. Varela is going to have to cause action. He's going to have to cause him to open up. It isn't only going to be outcome-based on who Varela is going to draw into. The performance is also going to matter. What he's able to do. Where's the excitement? And by excitement, right? I'm not talking like MMA. Oh, I hit him here and I hit him. No, I'm talking about can you cause things to happen? If a guy tries to slow the action, can you off-balance him off of his base? Can you hip in and bump him this way? Can you throw up enough threats? Can you keep the guy guessing? Can you get to a dominant control if and when you need to get to a dominant control? Because there's just a lot of things that can happen in a match. But for Varela, who has done everything right, for Varela, who has been beating all of the top guys, you still need your signature win. Before you can get in there with Craig Jones, before you can advance and all the stuff that comes with it, before you can get in there with Mason, you need a signature win. He's got very good wins. He's got impressive wins. A signature win, that's different. And that's what this match is about. Ishii is putting it on the line. The Olympic champion is going to put it on the line. Now, the Olympic champion wants something out of this too, which is he wants to show that he learned from the Craig Jones experience. He learned from the Mason Fowler experience. That yes, he is one of the greatest grapplers alive, reminiscent of the gold medal, but he's got to acknowledge it wasn't judo. It wasn't exactly what he was thinking when you get under the unified rules. So Ishii's coming back. There will never be a day when I, Chael Sonnen, dismiss an Olympic gold medalist who's still got the eye of the tiger. He's coming to win. Varela's got a lot of pressure on him that he didn't know about. He knows now. I must tell you that anything that is a co-promote, it just works. You can't get it anywhere. But Scott Coker will let his talent go, and Dana White will let his talent go as long as they're grappling. It's just a policy. And both bosses came to the same conclusion. So you can put on some of these matches. You can put on some of these co-promote matches, but that's what this is. Jessica Ai, who was fighting Valentina for a world title somewhere within the weird last 12 months that we had, okay? And then you got Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, who's the world champion over in Bellator. It's just one of these things. And so when it comes down to grappling, who's going to do what? Ilima-Lei is well known for her grappling, but largely because of how well she did in amateur wrestling while in high school in Hawaii. Even in front of her jiu-jitsu black belt, she was largely known for that. She was seen through the news and throughout the media. She's out there taking on boys and she's doing all sorts of stuff in high school in Hawaii. Then you have Jessica Ai, who gets almost no credit, but pushes Miesha Tate, who was fourth in the national wrestling tournament at one, pushes Miesha Tate all the way into the overtimes. So it's one of these deals where, okay, are they just going to go out there and wrestle? Fine. Let's just on paper. Let's just say that goes to Ilima-Lei. This isn't a wrestling match. You won't score any points for that. It's going to have to be what can you do on the ground. And this is where the submissions are going to come in. Jessica Ai, I will remind you, has done this multiple times under the unified rule set. Ilima-Lei has not. Ilima-Lei has only heard about the rule set. And I bring that up because BetDSI has Ilima-Lei Macfarlane as a sizable favorite in this match. But as somebody that's never missed one of these matches, if you have never done the rules, not you don't know them, I'm not saying we couldn't call Ilima-Lei right now and have her explain the rules perfectly to us. That's not, I'm suggesting for you, if you've never done them, there is a strategy as to what you're going to do when you get into the overtime periods, when you get into the entanglements. And these are things that Jessica has worked on not once, not twice, not three times. This will be her fourth. It's a very interesting match. And before you get down to the game of mercy, which is the first 5 minutes, who can make the other one say uncle? you have to then understand what's going to happen after the toss of the coin if they should get to the unified rules specification for overtime.